Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Floor Planner. My name is Bob, and as I always say, I am here for customer success. I'm here for you all to share with you the new feature advances that have been added to your Floor Planner platform. We're going to talk about the ones that were just added last month for the month of August. There were three of them. Pretty exciting. So I'm gonna see if I can talk fast enough to share a lot of the information about them. Let me show you also, where do you find those new features? We keep having these new advances in Floor Planner on our platform occurring on a monthly basis. So if you would like to see them listed as they occur, we can go on to our Floor Planner platform as I am right now logged into my account. Upper left-hand corner where the four squares are up there, that is the button that you can select to go to your profile. What will tell you all about your account, and you gain the right-hand sidebar over here, and at the top where it says new features, these are those new advances that keep occurring for you on a monthly basis. And if you would like to see all of them, there's a more button up there that'll take you to the entire list of history of the advances that have occurred, including the current ones. Or there's also listed right here with the most current advance here noted at the top. But if we go to the more button up there, let's do so. And you'll see the list. I think these are very concise. They're beautifully written and quick. You can read through them very fast to see what advances have occurred. Let's just scroll through as we could, looking backwards for a second. To where we left off last time. So we're looking at the project level tweaks that occurred, which was really talking about the render engine and the new Blender render for the SDHD 4K and 8K resolution options for the new rendering. Hope you had a chance to explore that. It's been received very, very well. I've had a lot of great experience with it myself. I've also noticed that it's very sensitive to your light level settings. So feel free to go ahead and adjust your sunlight and your lamps and your light fixtures, which you of course, can turn on and off, and you have dimmer switches on them, because it's been very, very responsive to those light levels, and you can certainly make more dynamic changes. Things we want to talk about for today. There are three advances I want to talk about today. One of them is the new floor scanner updates. This is the companion for Floor Planner, and this feature has now become a lot more powerful. So the Floor Scanner app, as stated, a bunch of improvements for Floor Scanner app, including a better file compression and faster uploads, which result in up to 10 times faster scanning and uploads compared to the previous versions. This is live now, so I think you'll see a great improvement in there. Next to that, we are preparing for a bigger update of our app and functionalities with the upcoming release of the iOS 16 next month, which is this month of September. So keep an eye open for that for sure. I tested this myself with the previous demo, which I believe I have shown to you in a previous recording when we were talking about the floor scanner and how it works with your iPro, Apple iPad, and phone. 12 and 13 Pro, because they have the LiDAR system inside there with the camera feature. So that's where we are currently. And this system, as I tested it out previously, I did well with it. I got a really nice scan out of it, got it uploaded, and the whole time on there was just over 8 minutes or so for the upload. I tested this exact same room again just today, actually, and got it back in 40% less time and the time that I was scanning, and for the time that it uploaded. Very, very, very fast. I believe my completed time on that whole sequence of scanning and uploading it was under 5 minutes. So pretty awesome. And I took a little extra time making sure I was capturing all the corners and such. So I'm really, really happy with the improvements with Floor Scanner. I think you will enjoy that also. But again, do keep a watch out for that the further advance that's going to be occurring for this month. I think you'll be really, really happy. Other item that we want to talk about today is the duplicate items in 3D. I've been watching for this. This is extremely exciting for me. You know that, of course, we can do all these wonderful changes in 2D views, but in 3D, it just keeps getting more and more powerful, which is really incredible with the 3D handle that are on your 3D assets. Certainly you can use your mouse and keyboard, which is really great, but super when you take it into a tablet form or into an iPad, that you can actually use your finger or a stylus or an Apple Pencil to navigate around. Let's actually go in and show that live inside Floor Planner. Let's go back to my Floor Planner account. And let's go to my projects. And I got a little demo project running. We'll open this guy up. Okay, so just to have a sample project out there. This new power for duplicating, of course, in 2D, you can select an item and you have the copy button down here, which is totally great. But let's go into 3D. Like I said, it's awesome to utilize this on a tablet or on an iPad but right now I'm using a mouse and keyboard, which is fine. Certainly I could go ahead and select an item like this sofa back here, a little love seat. And on the left-hand side, you get the left-hand sidebar that gives you all the information about it. And I was always really excited that, you can make all these changes through its settings, just like you could do in 2D, which was really nice. And you had the added advantage up here of a delete button. So you could actually delete items while you're in 3D. You didn't have to go back to 2D to delete items. Most exciting for me is the new advance, and the new advance is a copy button. Who would have thought? So here we go. You can delete items in here, but you also have over here a copy button. So you can duplicate now. So while you're in 3D, and especially if, dining room chairs, you needed a couple extra, you didn't want to go back into 2D to do so, we can go ahead and hit just the duplicate button over here, and suddenly we've got 2 love seats, or in addition, we got a whole bunch of love seats inside here. And then, of course, you can go ahead and rotate, move, and place them into position, etc., or lift them up in the air. This is really, really cool, especially for accessorizing. When you start bringing in your shelf units and such, and you're going to putting books and artwork and different picture frames and small little plants, and you just brought in a few and you really wanted to just duplicate a whole bunch of books to put on your shelf unit, you can now do it while you're visually inside the 3D model and place them up on the wall. So I'm done with this piece for right now. So let's, we duplicated it. Now let's go ahead and delete it. Hit the delete key up there. And again, the power of that is all in your 3D view while you're working. Now, let's take another look at our list for a second up here. I think you'll really enjoy that new duplicate button. Now, something really wild up here. Lots of verbiage in here. Surprise, you now have style boards, mood boards within Floor Planner. So certainly before you can, export components of Floor Planner, your 2-dimensional plans, your 3-dimensional interior images, and assemble them in other software or whatever it is you typically like to utilize to communicate your design intent and a storyboard mentality. We're calling them style boards. I think you're going to really like this because style boards in Floor Planner are a little bit more than just cut and paste images. Remember, Floor Planner has all the 3-dimensional model assets, which means Floor Planner also has the multiple views of those pieces, your frontal view, your axonometric views, your end views, your back view. Maybe sometimes you have a specific decorative chair that you want to show in your composition, and the only picture you had of it was on the front, but the beauty of it was the upholstery that was put on the back. So how do you get the back view if you only have a flat view? Floor Planner can address that. I think you'll enjoy the functionality within this new style board creation. It's noting in here fairly clearly that this is the first generation of the style board. So it's got some really, really great, exciting features in here. I think it's certainly time to start working with this and getting acclimated to see how it functions, including the fact that you have the ability to generate the SD resolution, standard definition resolution, as an export for free. which is great. And then if you need the higher resolutions, as we talk also with the Blender render for your interior renders, what are you using the product for? How the pixel count on that document? How much resolution do you need? But you do have the options to upgrade it to an HD, a 4K, or an 8K. And this is, let's reiterate that this is the first version of styleboards. Still a lot, there's still a lot to be improved, but we are having a lot of fun with this now and testing out this new feature. So I'd like to get your feedback on it also. So let's show you how this is functioning. Let's go back into my account again. And I made us a little demo room out here, so I had to put a little bit of decor in there. Try to stay with sort of that seashell ocean theme, maybe for the end of summer season here. So we've got a room going on here, and of course, take a peek at it in 3D. And this is what we created. So, we have the carpeting in here, the wallpaper in here, the paint color in here, all of these specific furnishings, accessories, lights, lamps, decorative lights, artwork around the room also. So how do you make a stop board? If you've already created this assortment inside your project in your conceptual work, and you want to express this with an additional style board, not just the renders. So let's go into 2D. Let's see what we can do about this. You can go ahead and left click and select the room as you typically would. And with the room selected on the left-hand sidebar, you now have a new tab, which is Style Board. So if we go ahead and select Style Board, it generates it for you right away based on the items that you actually placed inside your 3D model. So this, speeds it right along. And then getting used to a new format over here, left-hand sidebar, you are in the Style Board function right here. And these are the new options that you would have to go ahead and keep building and polishing your style board. Starting with the background of your style board, and which is where we're at with general settings right now. We can start by, naming our style board. I want to call mine Ocean Concept, just to give it a name. And we can start talking about the background color for your presentation board. Something in the whites, the grays, sand colors, a little bit more like the ocean, the blue sky out there, green. What's nice about this also, let's say we're going in something like the sand colors, trying to make it look, inspirational to the beach. You also have a tab down here in the lower right-hand corner, which will give you a little more range of colors, so you can nail this down to something a little darker, a little lighter, a little bit more orange hue in it. So you can really customize the color selection that you want for your background. You can also then go down to font settings if there's a specific font style that you want to go ahead and add for any specific text. And you can also change the font size and the weight of the font. So this is where you can make those adjustments in the general settings. Then you have the furniture tab up here, which is also all of the three-dimensional assets that you're familiar with when you're working in the regular floor planner model in 2D. Meaning that you can still go search for other items and go ahead and add them into this document. And you could even, take the same item and drag that same item in here and start putting duplicates of the same item in there to maybe show the top view, the front view, the side view. Depends on what you're trying to explain. Next tab down. Paints and paint colors. Obviously, we've already got one paint color in there. So this is kind of after the fact. It's already translated what you already have inside your plan. Next tab down, any of the additional materials that you might want to go ahead and add in there, like we have our rug that it did identify the rug, the material that was selected for it, and it's already identified the wallpaper. But again, if you needed to find something additional after the fact, you can still add it over here. The ability to go ahead and type in whatever text box that you might want to go ahead and add for additional information. Next tab down, I think this is really, really powerful, is that you can upload your own JPEG image into your style board. Inspirational images, where the color scheme came from or your idea came from, or additional pieces that just kind of emphasize or complement your design intent that you just want to include in that mood or feeling of the composition that you put together. Uploading JPEG images, and certainly you can, have your own exports already created of your two-dimensional plans that you might want to add into this document, or maybe even your 3D interior render that you've already created through Floor Planner. There's a lot you can go ahead and add in here. And if you needed some specific shapes or symbols that you want to go ahead and add into the language here also. So let's take a moment and say, of course we can go ahead and move these items and start, you start figuring the work of how you want to tell your story. Maybe the furniture pieces need to be near each other, piece up here. And you notice right now, everything has its label on there. We can go ahead and turn the product name off specifically over here on the left-hand sidebar while it's selected, or we can just go ahead and turn off in the upper right-hand corner, show product names, just turn them all off. So it's your call. What is it you're trying to convey? The tab down here in the lower right-hand corner is actually going to be for your scaling, and it'll be proportionate in your X and Y direction to make it so it doesn't shift out of skew on either direction, but right now that's equal, so just pull that out. And also with the items selected here, you can determine over here on the left-hand side, of course that's not a good piece to really pick, but you can see a perspective view of it, a front view, a left view, so it's a round table. Of course, it's all gonna be the same view, and or even just the top view. This is the power I was talking about before as to what it is you're trying to convey. Maybe, this particular chair, well, that's, a very nice angled view of it, but maybe I want a front view of it as I'm trying to accentuate maybe the profile on the side of it. So you have that ability with these items to go ahead and really customize how you want to tell this story. Artwork piece down there, side views are not going to do very much for it, but you can get a really nice clean frontal view of it, and make it larger if you wanted to. And of course, you have your paint sample down here, and maybe that paint sample is a little big for you. You can take it a little bit smaller. Maybe the materials are going to be telling a story over here. Maybe the rug over here. Well, that doesn't look like really good patterning on the rug, so we can take a frontal view of it. There's your rug. There's your paint. There's a little decorative piece. You got the chandelier going on. So, putting together your composition as you want to tell the story. I do like these maybe in the front view on the art. And notice that, similar to what you're used to doing with other slideshow softwares out there, you can certainly go ahead and even change the draw order on these items. So I could take this item and say, I want to go ahead and bring this to the front. Look on the left-hand side over here, bring it all the way to the front because they're all stacked. Or you can move it up a step at a time, or you can move it back a step at a time, or all the way to the back. Of course, you can still, maybe some of these items just are too much for your story and you can take some of these items out. You can delete these items also. I'm going to go ahead right now and take this item, maybe put it in front of this item by selecting the tab over here to bring it all the way to the front. It's sitting on top. So again, you're making your determination as to how you want to tell this story. Chandelier piece down here. And our little plant. A little bigger, maybe, kind of get a sense of scale based on the actual items as to how big they really are, maybe how they relate to each other, and your color schemes, etc. So again, depending on how you want to go ahead and tell your story, awesome. Let's go back to maybe looking at our text box for a second and say, life. So I created Ocean Life. Cool. And we could go ahead and make changes to that accordingly over here if you wanted to get a little bit more creative with different styles, different text styles, and then also adjusting even your font size and making this bigger. Maybe we'll take this up to 200. Ocean Life. And position it. Again, Again, however it is you're trying to tell your story accordingly. I think this is also, as this really neat feature inside here for the images that you can add. Obviously, here's the plans because it knows the project that we're working with. So if I said, I wanted to go ahead and place my floor plan inside there, I could do so because it's already associated with my project. Or I could go ahead and delete that image if I want to. Maybe, I wanted it with a color image instead. I could also then go ahead and delete that too. You could, I've already downloaded these images, not just from inside Floor Planner, but also have them here on my sidebar on the right-hand side, saving them on my desktop right now. So you could go ahead and say, choose the file that you want to place inside here. So if I say, let's go ahead and choose a file, I could take it from my desktop and see that I did in fact go ahead and do a rendering and just go ahead and say open it. And it's going to be adding it into my project over here on the left-hand side. Of course, it's a high resolution image. Might just take a second. And there we go. And again, we can just drag it in. And we can adjust our size, same way with our scaling. And maybe that's going to be part of your presentation also. Again, it's really up to your creativity as to how you want to place these, what it is you want to communicate. I want to take this just one level further because I was having a lot of fun playing with this company branding. There's no reason why you can't create your own JPEG image because we can insert JPEG images, maybe in another slideshow software or another photo software out there, whatever you're versed in. I did this just in a slideshow software where I just put together a little logo for a fictitious company and made a slide that is going to be kind of a background template for branding. We could bring specific brands in here, but I kind of had a preset format for it. It's really nice just to be a background sheet. So I could go ahead and take this styleboards that I have down here and just say, let's go ahead and take that JPEG image and say, choose the file, take it from my desktop. There you are, styleboard, insert a shell brand, say open. And now it's being added to my list again of my picture library over here on the left-hand side. And I could take it, left click and drag and drop it. And there's this, my idea of a template sheet. That could be the background inside here for sure. But we could go ahead and stretch this out. I purposely, when I designed this page, I made it actually not as wide as the document itself because I wanted to play with the idea of having like a strip available over here for maybe like an inspirational color or item that may be the general theme of the project I'm working on. So I have like a picture down here of sky and beach down here that maybe I want to have that in this little sliver over here on the side. So I could go ahead and take this piece and also add this into my collection. So choose that file and find him on my desktop again. Sorry about that. Everything just kind of shifted on me there. There you are. Say open. Adds it to our collection up here, again in our styleboard for our photos. And I'm going to go ahead and select that and drag it in and start making it larger just to fill up kind of the sliver back here on this left-hand side, right? Okay, so that's going to be like just a sliver of some inspirational colors, sand, ocean, sky, etc. And this is the draw order of where are these places. They're just on top and they're on top and below each other. So this I want to have as my total background. So let's go ahead and move it all the way to the back. So there's my page that I had. And this piece, if I move it behind that piece, because remember I left a little sliver on the side, I can take this and push this all the way to the back also. So that's actually now underneath this page. And this page I designed as a separate JPEG, a little bit of brand, a little logo, a little name of the company, a little inspiration note. And you can then just continue to go ahead and work, placing your items. Depends on again, be creative. You have a lot of power within these style boards to take this however far you want to. Once it's completed, we are done with those images. Let's go back for a second. And let's go ahead and save. Let's go back to export the image. Maybe this is the image that we want. Send it as an export. And again, I can send this out for free as the SD. I'm working with a level 4 project myself right now. So let's go ahead and send it as an SD render. Download the image as an SD. And there's our image as we've created it, and it's downloaded right here on my desktop. And I can just go ahead and open it up. I want to take a look, see what we've created. And there you go. Image done and finished. Okay, got a little long-winded there, but it's a lot to talk about. Style boards, it's your own direction. Where do you want to go with it? You have all these tools available to you. Have some fun with it, and do keep an eye on it, because this, like I said, this is the first generation release for style boards for you. But it's ready for you. Let's start getting you acclimated with it, and then watch for the future advances as they come out. And I'll certainly keep sharing them with you on our monthly recordings. Appreciate you being with me today. Don't forget that we do have the live webinars on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you'd like to join me, those are certainly for free. They're on your desktop of Floor Planner in the upper right-hand corner. We have our intro webinars and our advanced tools webinars. Then we also have a webinar dedicated just to talking about the 6 different subscription levels with Floor Planner, how they function, what's the best fit for you, and how the different project levels work within Floor Planner. So lots of information available to you. Just come on and register for those. And otherwise, I look forward to seeing you at our next recording and or maybe one of our future webinars. Have a great day. Thank you so much.